What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 62 of the LunchBox Comics Draw Stream. I am LunchBox Warren, the writer, artist, and creator of the Adventures of Cig and Joe, out on Global Comix right now. As always, description in, or link in the description. Tonight, I'm going to be working on more Squirrel books, but I also plan to do a lot of talking about my my new business strategy or my new release strategy with my comic books. What's up, Mad Mel, Massive Panda, Dingus Den? Hey, I'm glad you got through your finals, Dingus. That's awesome. Yeah, Panda, get me that Twitter handle as soon as you get one set up. And same with you, Mad Mel, and then we will add you guys to the group. Yeah, so tonight I'm going to be working on more pages of the Squirrels, but I also want to talk to you about my ideas and changes that I'm going to make to my business, or how I distribute comic books. Yeah, the big league chew. How I distribute comic books, and what my plans are for the future of Cig and Joe, because due to some revelations recently, especially with the price hike of printing, some stuff's going to change. But before I get into any of that, I'll get the page set up here, and we'll get the music going, and we'll start drawing, and then I'll talk to you guys about what I plan to do differently with my comic books. Okay. So, as of right now, my plan was to do floppies, but release those on Global Comix. And then once I had enough for the graphic novel, I was going to have that printed, and then that's what I would be selling at cons or markets or whatever, online, along those lines. So recently, on March 26th, I ordered 30 Cig and Joe comic books from Comics Wellspring, and it came out to $11 and some change a piece after shipping to get those books. So I was able to sell them at $20 and make an $8 and some change profit per book. And if I was shipping them, it costs $10 to $15 to ship. So I would charge $30, and if it was one of those states that was $15, then I would just eat the $5, but I would still be making a profit per book. So I went to get my Kickstarter ready, and I went on Comics Wellspring, who I've been using since the beginning, and to get 20 books, it would have cost me between $17 to $20 per book, because they have recently massively boosted their prices. Now they went from printing just for a minimum order of 25 to a minimum order of 20 to a minimum order of 1. And this has all been happening this year. So now to get 30 books, it would cost me $17 and some change per book, which means after the shipping, I would have to sell them for close to $40 per book in order to make any money off of them, and I'm just not going to do that. I'm not going to try to figure out a Kickstarter where I have to sell them at $40, because I don't know if the shipping is going to be $15 or $10 depending on the state. So I can't print the numbers to get that price back to $11. I could find some other printing companies, but the 4 that I've looked at so far, only Kablam is the same as what could get me to that $11 for 25 book order. But I have heard questionable about their quality. I can't justify doing 100, 200 book order for Cig and Joe. I don't move them that fast. Plus, I don't have the $1,000+ it's going to take to do a 40 or a 200 or 100 book print run, whatever it's going to take to get that down to 11. So, my plan with Cig and Joe is going to be converting the pages I do have, the 226, into webcomic style strips. And then I'm going to release those on a bi-weekly schedule on Global Comix. All future Cig and Joe releases will be done in Webtoon strip on Global Comix. The plan is, since it's such a niche, weird property, is to release it as a webcomic, build up that audience until the audience justifies a massive print run. If I get an audience of 100 people who are all like, we want Cig and Joe in physical copy, then I will print them, do a Kickstarter, print them, and justify doing the 100-book run. So, that's what I'm going to do with Cig and Joe. Now, the problems with Cig and Joe, and this is for any of the creators out there, most of you guys probably already know this. When I made Cig and Joe, I didn't worry about page count. So issue 1's 44 pages, issue 2 is 44, issue 3 is like 50-something, and issue 4 is like 70-something. The problem with that is when I show that to a publisher, they can't break that up into floppies. They can't turn a 44-page comic book because it's not really written to be a 24-page comic book. So you could try to break the 76 pages up, but there's no natural spot to break the action to create the floppy. So that's something I'm going to correct with the second arc of Cig and Joe. With the Squirrel book, the first issue is 36 pages, which is a decent-sized floppy. Most floppies are coming up for like 40-something now. So, the Squirrel book was going to be much more of a marketable and formatted to correctly be for a publisher. As well as, if I needed to print them out, it's going to be a smaller book, a little bit over 100 pages, and it's a much more marketable idea than Cig and Joe. There's nothing wrong with Cig and Joe. I love Cig and Joe, but it is a weird book. It's a niche book. So I think it's going to be better to let that audience build up on it on Global Comix, doing a strip kind of deal, maybe even Webtoons, a couple other places, but trying to build an audience up that way, and then try to do the physical copy. Because I've got 20, 30 Cig and Joe graphic novels, and I don't know how long it's going to take me to move those. So it doesn't justify printing 100. Now, the Squirrel book, I'm much more confident that's going to sell. I printed out, I think, 50 of the 17-page one-shot, and I have 2 left. And I wouldn't have those if I put them out for sale at the dark market. That book does sell. So I feel much more comfortable if I have to doing a 50-book, 100-book run if I have to on those ones. Plus, it's much more marketable for a publisher because I can break it up into easy, digestible, floppy-sized books. So that's the business plan for right now, is to turn Cig and Joe into essentially an ongoing webcomic, and then the Squirrel book setting up for the mass market publication. Let's see, as much as artists value their own work, it's hard to get into the mindset of charging readers too much. Well, exactly, Panda. We're in a tough economy right now. Gas prices here in Washington are close to, or in some places, $6 a gallon. I think the nation average is 4 something. So trying to take an unproven property and saying, I want you to pay $45 for this book that's made by someone's first project, that's black and white, that's kind of a niche anyways, is already difficult. It has a cigarette character. I can't sell it to kids. So Cig and Joe has an 18 plus audience that's a niche audience that are kind of like fans of Aqua Teen Hunger Force and Smoke Pot. So it's like there's an audience there, but it's going to take a while to build that audience up. Let's see here. I think this is an awesome idea. It's kind of 2 birds with 1 stone. You can use these releases to create buzz around your work and then drop physicals when the costs go back to normal. Exactly. That's the plan. if the audience is there or the prices go back to normal, then I can justify it. But until then, though, it's just better, I think, to do it this way. So that's the plan going forward. The plan going forward is Cig and Joe is going to be an ongoing webcomic. The Squirrel book is going to be, I'm setting that up to be packaged to publishers, as well as a much more viable printed book, a printed graphic novel, if you will. So that's kind of what I've been working on and brainstorming. I've told a couple people this, but I haven't gotten any feedback yet, so I figured I would just talk about it here tonight and see what you guys think. There are printer options out there, a lot better than Comix Wellspring when it comes to price. I will not say anything bad about Comix Wellspring as for their customer service and their quality in printing. They are excellent, but they priced me out. I can no longer, as a small comic creator who's doing this out of his own pocket, I can't do it. I mean, I feel bad, but I can't do it. I don't want any ill will towards Comix Wellspring at all, but I just can't afford doing a 1,000 book print run or 100 book print run or 200 in order for a book that I can only sell maybe 1 or 2 copies a month, if that. So I'm much more confident that the Squirrel book's going to sell in a physical copy. So I have no problem getting the graphic novel for that one, plus being a less page book is going to be cheaper, and I just have to find a decent printer to do it in. But let's get to the artwork here. I got to add some trees in the background up here. I'm going to add some onomatopoeia behind this guy, and I think I'm going to tweak the meow a bit. And now that's about it for this page. And then I'm going to redraw the next one. But yeah, that's what I've been kind of brainstorming and figuring out today was, just because you mentioned charging too much to readers. This is a disposable entertainment business that we're in. So you have to be careful, charging these bigger prices. But at the same time, I get why those prices are there, because these are not cheap to get made. Yeah, we small creators don't have economies of scale on our side. The vast majority of us aren't moving thousands or even hundreds of copies. Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of what it boils down to, is if you're not moving those kind of copies, which not many of us are, then it makes it hard to justify that. That's why the variants and putting on the name people on there is so popular in crowdfunding, because part of that is how you get that book sold. You make it more worthwhile. It's like, why am I going to spend $25 on a 32-page floppy? Well, because they got Robert Powers to do a cover, or they got some name who has a fan base. I know there's better deals out there, but yeah. And going super fancy with the paper, it's not necessarily, it's the amount of money you spend on it to what you're going to get back is doesn't really play out. So it's almost better just to print on the standard paper, standard covers, maybe doing a foil if you get yourself a decently named artist to do a cover on it. So that way there's a collector value to it, but it's not going to be worth it if who's going to spend $45 on a comic book? Now there are people who will, from names like Eric July, and EVS gets that. Billy Tucci could probably do that. There's a lot of names out there that can do that, but Lunchbox Warren is not one of them. That's what I'm hoping is, I call them the super fan. The fan who loves the book so much that they don't care that they've read it digitally. They want to read, that they want it in multiple forms. And if you could find 100 super fans who would be like, yeah, I love Cig and Joe so much, I would pay you $40 for a hardcover volume 1 book that you sign, right? Or let's say $50 or something. Well, if you get 100 of them, that's right there, bam, 5 G's on a Kickstarter. And if they're buying also they're buying hand-drawn stuff, if they're buying all these other things too, then you can make money and build up off of those. Like those guys like Tucci and them and Brian Polito, they have super fans that, plus too, their stuff is collector value. Like Lady Death will raise in value. Billy, she raises in value. If your name doesn't have a value like that to it, it's just gonna it's a lot harder, But I will keep you guys all posted on how it's going. I'm going to start converting the Cig and Joe pages. When I'm not doing this, I'm going to be converting Cig and Joe pages to webtoon strip sizes, and then preparing those for launch on Global Comix. And I'm probably going to make I'll probably take down the regular issues of Cig and Joe once the Squirrel book starts popping up. I'll probably take those down and then just start doing a full release on the strip for free. I'm going to deconstruct the pages and turn it into a top-down strip format for Cig and Joe. I'm going to take each panel, separate it, move the lettering around, and I'm going to have it all set up on one of those pages. That's the plan, at least. It's going to take some work, but it's just going to be better that way, I think, than trying just to put pages on top of each other. Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be like a webtoon where you're gonna be scrolling to read it, and each panel will be there top to bottom. When I started Cig and Joe originally, it was a webtoon, so it's kind of me doing full circle with it back to being there. The only difference is I make them as a comic, so when the day comes, if it does come, where the audience is like, I want a physical copy, I've got the files ready to go. I don't have to convert a webtoon into a comic book, which if you look at, like, if you ever picked up Solo Leveling's graphic novel or manga, if you notice when they convert a webtoon to a physical deal, you only get like 1 or 2 panels per page. The pacing is really weird in those books. It's very fast because it's hard to go back to if you're not planning for a manga format, converting something that was created as a webtoon into a manga, like, it really doesn't work that well in my opinion. Like, Solo Leveling is like 1 to 2 panels per page on their $15 manga. So it's like I'm getting a lot less info for a price that's higher than most other mangas, but it is in color, so that is one reason why the price is up too. It's going to be more work, but it's going to be worth it in the long run. And when I do the second arc, I will have webtoons in mind, so I will be able to format the pages. I'll be able, knowing that I'm going to be doing it that way, I have some tricks up my sleeve in order to make it easier to do. Like, doing each panel on its own layer will be one of those tricks. So that way all I have to do is just grab that panel and then I can transport it over to the webtoon file. I just gotta find out if Global Comix does the same size as webtoon or is it a different size. Once I find their formatting size, I will get ready to transport it over to Global Comix, and then once I have them done, and if the sizes are close enough, then I'll transport it over to webtoons as well. It's more work, but I think it's gonna pay off in the long run. And I think it's a better home for Cig and Joe as of right now, because Cig and Joe is just not it's not that as marketable as it's like the Squirrel book, and it's just, I think it takes time to build up an audience for that. I think there's something there. I think it's a fun book, and I think I will find an audience for it, but it's just going to take a bit of time. You know, marketing is, and honestly, in my opinion, marketing is the biggest pain in the ass about doing this. But part of my missions this last year and this year was to concentrate more on that. And during my journey so far, I kind of discovered this whole kind of new problem with the printing. So, you know, it's just see, that's not, it's not. The tail is the problem. I plan to do a video on it for YouTube, kind of like a, hey, I'm a comic creator, this is what I have to do. So any other young creators or people who are in it can see that and go like, oh, okay, maybe that'll affect, maybe they'll be like, okay, well, maybe I need to do that too, or give them kind of heads up of what they have to look forward to. I don't like that, no I don't. I might come back to that later. Alright, let's go to this page. Before I leave that. Yeah, the whole indie market really changed after that that publisher, what was his name, or that distributor went under. Now, like, Lunar is a big one. If you want to get into comic shops and get published, but Lunar wants $500 per issue in order to put them in the previews magazine to be seen by comic shops. And comic book shops usually only want to buy from previews, so they're not going to buy an indie creator unless like that creator's local walks in there and does a pitch. But you're not going to be able to do a lot of marketing or business by just, phoning around comic book shops and trying to do stuff along those lines. So books like Diamond, yes, thank you. So when Diamond went under, and now places like AP, they have to go through Lunar, and Lunar's like, well, every title AP puts up here, we want $500 beforehand. Yeah. Plus, comic book shops want the product at half of the retail value. So, if you sell a floppy for, let's say, $5, which none of us do, but let's say you sell a floppy for $5, the comic book shop wants it for $2.50. So, because they want to make their money back plus when they sell it. That's why graphic novels for indies is usually better to get into a comic book shop, because you can sell it to them for 10, and then it's like a $20 for an indie. So that's a much better market value share for the indie creator. The only reason to get into shops and the publisher is to get eyes on your product, to get more people a chance to see it. Something that indie creators struggle with is getting eyes on their stuff. An indie publisher that can get you into a comic shop has potential of getting you in front of thousands of people. If you have, so it's, you're not doing it to become rich by no means, unless you just get picked up huge. But it's going to be it's very rare. And like it said, keep in mind, comics is a really niche market. You have to give the comic shops a product worth buying, and it won't let them return it, and that's a huge no-no. Yeah, so they don't want to buy 10 of your comic books, or 5, or whatever, and then turn around and be sitting on them, like sell one, and be sitting on the rest of them, and just taking up shelf space, and eventually box space in the back, and then they might be able to offload it in a dollar bin someday. So if a publisher's going to take a chance on a book, even a smaller publisher like AP, it has to be something that looks like a comic book shop is going to buy it. They don't want to spend $500, put issue 1 into a previous magazine, and no one pick it up. Ixness, your book is one of those books that a publisher would look at and be like, yeah, we're going to take a chance on this book. Because Ixness, your book looks highly professional. It looks really good. The artwork looks really good, and I can't wait to get a chance to read it. But you have a book that's like instantly high level publisher quality looking book, and that is right there a big step for getting you into a publisher. If that's the route that you'd like to go, I'm not 100% sure. If that is your route going publisher-wise, then you're on a right track. And I'm not just blowing smoke either, because it does honestly look really, really good. The pages that you've showed me are very, very impressive. Yeah, with diamonds around, a lot more stuff could get published, but they screwed that up. They screwed the pooch on that one. Get your Twitter going, Mel, and he's dropping pages in that group that I told you about. I don't know, his artist might have a page too. His artist name is Mooney, Moonee. You might be able to see some of their work elsewhere. I'm not 100% sure. Oh yeah, I heard about that. Rest in peace, Ted Turner.
chasing shadows, falling apart. Run to the edge, don't look back. Neon dreams on a glowing track. Lost in the hole, lost in the spark. We're alive in the electric dark. Static buzzes, a signal breaks through. Skyline flickers in a glitching hue. The world's a wire, and with a fuse burning bright, nothing left to lose. Fingers trace the rhythm, the beat.
First time I ever even heard of Ted Turner was during the Monday Night Wars between WCW and WWE back in the day.
Lost in the spark, we're alive in the electric dark, dark, dark. Falling through the circuits, a coded street. Reality shatters like a broken dream. Every spark a story, every glitch a scream. We're just pixels in the grand machine.
Oh, nice.
Neon lights on like a restless heart. City whispers secrets in the dark. Footsteps echo in the empty park. Chasing shadows, falling apart. Run to the edge, don't look back. Neon dreams on a glowing track. Lost in the hole, lost in the spark. We're alive in the electric dark. Static buzzes, a signal breaks through.
I'm happy and thrilled for you, man. That is just it's so cool when you start seeing all that hard work start coming to fruition. And I'm very happy and thrilled for you, buddy. And it's so cool. I hope nothing but like the most biggest success for you. Okay, nice, nice. If you get a good reception, are you thinking possibly more, or are you just going to move on to another project? Um, it's kind of a quick read. But there's a lot of going on. It's hard. It's really, you'll see it when you get in there, 'cause, like, there's like full pages of no dialogue, and it's Frank Quietly's artwork in that is just astounding. Yeah, so far, yeah, when I slipped through it, I noticed that. Oh, and Mel, if you're still in the chat, that that Titan book was awesome. That's amazing referral on that one. Yeah, I don't watch that much anymore. Yeah, artwork is amazing in that Titan. I love it. Oh, Sam Quentin's Furious Tales. I did a cover for it, a double page cover that should be coming out sometime in the future. Him and his artist ran into some troubles, and she had to move. And but yeah, 47 Furious Tales is an incredible book. Sam Quentin's a super nice guy and a great creator, and his book is amazing. I absolutely love 47 Furious Tales. It's so good. For those that don't know, 47 Furious Tales is a retelling of the 47 Samurai, and it's done with squirrels and anthropomorphic animals, and it's just breathtakingly good. Indie comic books can be a very small world sometimes. Yeah, Sam's a pro, and he's pretty much liked in the industry or in the indie comics books. Not many people dislike him. He's a pro, nice guy, and puts out a really good comic book. And his artist, Alexa Velhausen, is really, really good. Yeah, I'll take a little bit of a break right here and I'll show you the cover that I made for him. So this is the cover I made for him. It's a double page, it's a double cover, front and back, and it's based off of what was it? It's I modeled it off the reference of an old Kurosawa film cover. I forgot the name of it, but it was a favorite of his. But yeah, this is a cover I did for 47 Furious Tales, which will be coming up here in the future. I don't know if this is going to be on the graphic novel or used as a variant in one of the Kickstarters for a newer book. But once he gets that rolling again, this is the cover that I made for him. Oh, thank you, Icarus. Yeah, I also got prints of this made too. Yeah, this is I'm so happy how this cover turned out for his 47 Furious Tales. Yeah, I have my moments. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. Like I said, I have my moments. Oh, awesome. Has he made volume 2 yet? Because I want to pick up the next volume. I got the link, this to Mooney's Instagram, and damn. Damn. He is good. Well, I'm going to have to start working harder. Alrighty. No sleep for me. Let me do something real quick here. Just... Here is the Amazon link to pick up that Titan book, dingus. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Yosar? How you doing?
Neon lights sound like a restless heart. City whispers secrets in the dark. Footsteps echo in the empty park, chasing shadows, falling apart. Run to the edge, don't look back. Neon dreams on a glowing track. Lost in the hope, lost in the spark. We're alive in the electric dark. his heart. City whispers secrets in the dark. Footsteps echo in the empty park. Chasing shadows, falling apart. Run to the edge, don't look back. Neon dreams on a glowing track. Lost in the hum, lost in the spark. We're alive in the electric dark. Static buzzes, a signal breaks through. Skyline flickers in a eclectic hue. The world's a wire, and we're the fuse, burning bright. Nothing left to lose. Fingers trace the rhythm.
Zing. Who are you gonna print through, Mel?
Run to the edge, don't look back. Neon dreams on a glowing track. Lost in the hum, lost in the spark. We're alive in the electric dark.
Oh, yeah.
Falling through the circuits, coded streams. Reality shatters like a broken dream. Every spark a story.
Oh, yeah, I love Comics Wellspring. Their quality and their customer service are amazing. What? Star Fox got announced? They're making another Star Fox game. Oh, that is so awesome. Oh, man. I love me some Star Fox. That's badass. It's a crime that we haven't got another Star Fox game. Thank you. I'll check that out after the stream. Cool, cool. I gotta work tomorrow, so I'm gonna be up at 5 in the morning and then at a estate sale until like probably 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So I will, I already read it and got that out of the way. Yeah, I'm gonna have to sit on this one for a couple days and see how I like that. You can kind of see the slice. It's sliced in all three panels, and each panel shows a different letter a little bit more. So, I don't know though. I do not know on this one. It might just clutter it up too much, honestly. I'm going to have to stew on this one for a bit. Alright, what's the next page? Oh, geez, 2 hours already. Wow. I probably should call since I gotta get up at 5, but I've never been that smart of a fella. Yeah, true. Oh. Let's move on to another page and we'll see how I feel about this later. Throw it into a couple groups, see who gives me shit about it, and then we'll see if if it'll work. Yep, it's coming up. I'm starting to feel sorry for the cat, so we gotta finish this. Night, Mel.
Neon lights sound like a restless heart. City whispers secrets in the dark. Footsteps echo in the empty park, chasing shadows, falling apart. Run to the edge, don't look back. Neon dreams on a glowing track. Lost in the hole, lost in the spark. We're alive in the electric dark. Static buzzes, a signal breaks through. Skyline flickers in a glitching hue. The world's a wire.
Might have to look up a bow and arrow reference.
Fuse burning bright, nothing left to lose. Fingers trace the rhythm, the beat. Feel the pulse, it's incomplete. Run to the edge, don't look back. Neon dreams on a glowing track. Lost in the hole, lost in the spark. We're alive in the electric dark, dark, dark.
Okay, there we go.
Falling through the circuits of cold street. Reality shatters like a broken dream. Every spark a story, every glitch a scream. We're just pixels in the grand machine. Neon lights hum like a restless heart. City whispers secrets in the dark. Footsteps echo in the empty park, chasing shadows, falling apart. Run to the edge, don't look back. Neon dreams on a glowing track. Lost in the hole, lost in the spark. We're alive in the electric dark. Run to the edge, don't look back. Neon dreams on a glowing track. Lost in the hum, lost in the spark. We're alive in the electric dark. Falling through the circuits, a coded stream. Reality shatters like a broken dream. Every spark a story, every glitch a scream. We're just pixels in the grand machine.
Yeah, it's going to be a zoomed in panel. I'm just kind of, the beauty of digital, as you probably know, is it allows you to do draw something without having to be confined to the panel until you really want it to be. Yeah. You know, and I love cats too. Well, this cat was a meme, so you know. What's up, Phil? How's it going, buddy? Okay, so the thought process here is all in black, except for the eyes, the nose, and the teeth. So this will all be black, and then, except for the eye marks, the teeth, and the nose. Okay, guys, I'm coming up on 3 hours. I gotta get up at 5 in the morning. So, even though I'd like to do another pass over this page tonight, I am not going to be able to because I need to wind down and get ready for bed. So, I want to thank everyone for stopping by. I will not be on tomorrow because I have to work I got to get up at 5 in the morning and I got to work till like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And then me and Dingus are going to be doing a pre-recorded review of WE3. So I'm not going to feel like doing anything tomorrow after that. On Friday, there might be a last panel. I'm not 100% sure yet. If there is not a last panel, I will be on drawing. Saturday, I will be on Aru's channel, Plunge Comics channel, for an interview. And then on Sunday, I will be back here drawing again. Monday will be Melvin Cruz and I drawing Mortal Kombat characters for the celebration of the new Mortal Kombat movie. And yeah, so lots of cool stuff coming down the line. If you're watching this and you haven't liked or you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I'm up to 180 subs now, growing pretty good. And lots of cool stuff on my channel and just a lot more stuff coming down the line. So as always, friends, I want to thank everybody who's in the chat. I want to thank everyone who is commenting. You guys are all awesome and you make all of this worthwhile. And I will, guys, keep you all updated on my new business plan and how I'm going to distribute comic books. And I'll tell you guys how it's going. Until next time, my friends, as always, be good, be safe, and God bless.